Welcome back to part 4 of the series of Why Can't I Lose Weight? What is stopping me from getting and keeping the right results for my body? We're going to talk about inflammation now. If you've missed the other videos, go back and watch them. And again, we're almost halfway through the series that I have. So this is a great thing to save to playlists or send to people that you know could use this information as well. I'm Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books, The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon. You can dive more into the content I have, talking about eating for your hormones and your cycle. I'm also host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution, and you can subscribe to that as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay updated on all the videos I have coming out and to understand more about how your body functions. My mission here is just to educate women more on how your system functions so that you can make the right health choices for you moving forward. And in this series, I'm talking about specific topics related to weight gain and weight loss resistance. Now, you might realize that some of these things from one video topic correlate to you, and then so do other things. And that's what I often find. It's usually not just one reason that you are gaining weight and not losing it. It's usually from several different things. So my goal here is just to present these different things, have you understand several of them, and then really with the Female Hormone Solution program I have, we identify exactly what's going on through hormone testing and everything else and create and help tailor a specific plan for you to move forward and get to and keep the right results. So if you're thinking after watching some of these videos that, oh my gosh, yeah, there's a few of these things that I feel like are me. That's okay, that's normal, and it's usually pretty accurate in terms of thinking, yep, there's more than one reason that you've gained weight and can't lose it. So, today we're talking about inflammation. Now, I do dive into more specifics in the podcast where we talk about inflammation, inflammatory responses, and everything else. But I wanted to keep it sort of general here just to help everybody understand. There are specific things that are released in your body in terms of inflammation, adipokines, cytokines, things like that, that impact your entire system head to toe. Now, inflammation in general is a normal body response. The body never does anything without a reason. But also realize that no system works alone either. And when we talk about inflammation, there's a reason for it. For example, if you sprain your ankle will swell up like a big grapefruit, right? I've sprained plenty of ankles in my lifetime to really severely remember, just how fat my ankle got. Well, why does your body do that? Your body's doing that to protect the damaged tissue, to protect that joint, to keep it from getting injured more. You will have pain, you will have that swelling, you will have that redness. Your body does that for a reason. We want that to happen because that's part of the healing process. When we talk about inflammation in relationship to your metabolism and to your overall weight gain, weight loss experience, your body never does anything without a reason, but sometimes we don't realize that inflammation is really a big key piece into holding us back. Inflammation, I have found, can be a huge piece of why you cannot gain muscle and why your body is not actually getting to fat burning throughout the day. So when we look at this, that inflammation is protective for a reason, but you can have inflammation set off in your system for many different reasons, right? These are 3 categories that you can think about that can trigger inflammation. Trauma. This can be a physical trauma. This can be an emotional trauma, right? There can be lots of things that you would have inflammation in your system. Physical trauma, if you work out too hard and you are not nourishing your body enough and you burn your system out, you lift too heavy, you do a CrossFit workout and you're not ready for it, you're not allowing that rest time. Your legs can be sore for 5 days and swollen. That's an inflammatory response from trauma. That's normal. That's a normal response. But realize your body's doing that for a reason. It doesn't have enough nutrient to recover from it. And it sets off this inflammatory reaction that your body then has a hard time recovering from. Toxins. This is a huge one too. This can be toxins that are on your skin. It can be from, products in your home, things that you're exposed to, things that are in your food, right? That can create this inflammatory reaction. Now your body should be able to detox things out, but if that process is being hindered, it does not happen. And then as a result of that, your system will have inflammation. If you've ever eaten food, like junk food, and woke up the next day and you're like, oh, my hands are kind of stiff. My hands, I feel like I look puffy. Ooh, what's going on? It can be toxins, and then your body's having that inflammatory response. Keep in mind, when your body's having this inflammatory response, it does not care about burning fat. It does not care about having a good metabolism. It cannot. That inflammation gunks up the system and slows that down. It does it on purpose. It's doing it for a reason. I've worked with so many women that honestly, until we get the inflammation response under control, they do not make any progress. They're doing like everything right, everything perfectly. I'm eating super clean and all these other things, yet they're doing other things, or their body's exposed to certain things that's creating an inflammatory response. On the Dutch test, the testing that we use in the Female Hormone Solution program, there is a marker that we look for neuroinflammation. And when that marker is elevated, that's a huge red flag. This is a big piece of what's holding you back. There's somebody recently, I'll tell this story really, really quick, where she had been eating so clean, restricted sugars, all this other stuff, because again, that can be inflammatory, yes. But we looked at her neuroinflammation numbers, and I talked to her about a few other things, and I had to have her test her house for mold. Mold showed up, and I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Your system is on complete lockdown in terms of metabolism. It's just holding everything. It's going to store absolutely everything you put in your mouth because of the mold that you're living in. And she was like, oh my God, that's what it feels like. It's everything that I eat, it stores. I was like, yeah, you have to do it was a major overhaul. It was a big project, all these things. And it really wasn't until she shifted and changed that, she started making progress, decreasing inflammation, and then able to see some shift and change in her metabolism. It's a lot, but again, this is not a topic that you want to miss. This is not a category that can be overlooked. You can't get your body to burn fat if you have a lot of inflammation. It just, physiologically, that's not how the human body works. So that's why we have to look at and target inflammation. Last one here is thought. Now, I will be doing other videos talking about toxic relationships, things like that. But when we talk about the thought process here behind it, and really the impact of your mental state, your emotional state, and your overall inflammatory response, it's huge. I have had people really working on boundaries, or working on, oh, I'm not gonna be in contact with a certain person as much because it creates a lot of anxiety for me or whatever. And they're thinking it's just that emotional result. Well, I had somebody who, there was a violation of a boundary, we'll say, and she immediately had bloating in her gut. Within 30 minutes, she's like, I look like I'm 6 months pregnant. This is crazy. I was like, yeah, your gut is becoming super inflamed because it knows. And then within the next 24 hours, she had a full head to toe inflammatory reaction. She was puffy, bloated. She gained 4 pounds. Inflammation. And then she also had some different skin reactions that she would get whenever she would get inflamed and have that. But again, this is not something to skip over at all. And again, we need to stay ahead of this. It's really hard just to play catch up all the time with your inflammation. So inflammation is something that you have to get down and keep down. And then all the other stuff that you're doing to help your metabolism actually has an ability to have a positive impact. So that's the piece on inflammation. There's more to it. Again, tune into the podcast where I dive into a little bit more of the science behind it. But let me know if you have any questions. Put a comment below this video. I do check the comments, but also make sure you click the link to get on the wait list for the Female Hormone Solution program. This is something that, we go through and talk about and really address and make sure that you're getting the right customized recommendations for you for what your body would need moving forward to not only decrease the inflammation, but to keep it as mitigated as possible for you. So that's what I got for you today. Let me know any other questions that you have, and I will see you in part 5 of this series.